it's a little learning process, but I feel like I'm starting to get it down and feel more confident every day.
Can you explain a little bit that adjustment and how difficult it is? Because I think from the outside you see an interior line, it's like, oh, just rush the passer or whatever. So what is different about what you have to do here?
Yeah, so I came in college. I was coming from a react style defense, like a read react, and now I'm attack penetration. So it's kind of just the little details of not stopping your feet, running good contact. There's no such thing as a double team anymore in our defense, and I'm used to taking on multiple blocks, two gapping, and we don't do that here. So it's a little bit of adjustment. We've had some guys that have also come from other defenses like that have a little learning curve. So I think it's just part of the process.
Do you think even throughout the spring, like you were able to get through some of that, like growing pains, so to speak, in terms of getting used to this kind of attack style?
Yeah, I feel like everyone has it. Even I was talking with Mike Hall last year. He came from a kind of read react style defense too. So he said he had a little bit of learning curve too. So I mean, it's just normal for guys coming from that defense to this. And just a learning curve.
But in Ohio State, it looked like you were reading and reacting. Is that a different game plan?
No, I was still reading react there, but yeah, just a little different game.
I mean, you were attacking points individually.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have an answer. I don't know.
You last time we talked to you was a rookie minicamp, and you hadn't really had an opportunity to really work with Miles. What's it been like, getting out there on the field in the meeting rooms and all that, and what have you been? What's the biggest thing you've been able to take from those, those conversations with him?
Just learning a lot. He's been the best for a long time now, so just being able to be with him on the field and then just in the meeting rooms. Knows the defense really well. He works hard. He's obviously a freak athlete, so now I can't. Some of the things he does you can't teach, but it's just cool to be around him, like a player like that.
And yesterday, Denzel Ward was asked which new players he was interested in seeing develop their individual. As it says, what does that mean to you? One of the leaders, also quarterback, single you out as a guy.
Yeah, it means a lot. I've been working hard, just like everyone else, and I want to, be a player for this team that can make an impact right away.
So different.
Weapon?
Awkward weight question.
Like 292 right now.
Were you
like 305? Yeah, I'll be like around this weight, probably like 295, 300.
You're a different coordinator in 3 years now, and probably defensive scheme. Anything that you've learned about picking up a scheme that's helped you this time?
Yeah, I feel like it's, like I said about the learning curve, once I get this down, I'll be more comfortable in it. Every day I'm feeling more and more comfortable, so just I'll have a little more time to, get the full grasp of the defense.
Josh talked back in the spring about even though you were in that read and reacting style defense in college, that like on the tape they felt your skill set and your ability still sort of showing through that it can sort of translate. So I guess do you sort of feel like you're like how does your skill set allow you to sort of make that transition a little bit easier?
Yeah, I just feel like I'm a playmaker in general. That's what the type of guys that Coach Schwartz and everyone on the defense wants. So penetrating, making plays, even when you're not making a play, causing disruption, stuff like that.
Have you been able to develop any relationship with Garrett other than being a teammate? I mean, you're relying on offering any help.
Yeah, it's really just building the chemistry. We're going to be playing with each other on the field, so these days like these is big opportunities to build that chemistry because we're going to be playing next to each other, just like all the other guys on the club.
The last couple of years, the Browns have sort of had a known defensive end, like a big name that's out there that the sign of free agency brought in opposite of Miles. But in this instance, it's more sort of relying on the interior guys to kind of help him, especially you next to him. You feel like, how do you feel as a defensive tackle you can help free up and allow Miles to do even more and sort of vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, everyone sees that there's a lot of attention on Miles all the time. So if he's not getting the chip, he's getting double teamed or triple teamed at some point. So, there's a lot of opportunity there. And, maybe, if one of us starts, making some stuff happen, then that'll take a little bit of pressure off him and give him some free space. But we're all just building that chemistry, trying to work together.
What do you feel about the video of you going viral? You're kind of dropping the cookies, so you get a lot of ribbing about that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously people talked about it, but I just ate a little too much before practice. That's all.
And the coaches pointed out you never left practice.
Yeah, I grew up and then became my back end. So.
Nathan, it just seems like from what we've gotten to see from you, you're such like a low key guy, personality wise, very humble. I know not all top 5 picks tend to have that demeanor. Like, have you always kind of been like this? And just tell us a little bit more about that and how you might fit in the room personality wise.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been like that. I've always come from humble beginnings. I wasn't always the highest recruited or most talked about guy, but obviously now I became into a top 5 pick. But that's besides the point. That doesn't define who I am. I just want to play good football and make this team better.
Do you still have keep a bunch of touches?
I didn't even play with him actually.
Oh,
so
you did?
I came in the year after him, but I've talked to him before and I've met him, so it's pretty cool.
You feel, I mean, I understand sort of your thought process on being a top 5 pick you just kind of laid out. You still feel, some level of pressure to, make sure you live up to where the Browns are at to you, and especially knowing they traded back to get you, and they had other opportunities to take maybe other players. If you feel any of that as you come in, especially in the rookie year?
I mean, obviously, being a top 5 pick comes with expectations that everyone expects you to play. I have those expectations for myself. It's just not, people saying that about me. I have those expectations for myself and just trying to get better. And like I said, trying to be an impact, at first game and even the preseason on.
We talk a lot about pressure off the edge, but what about that interior pressure? Why is it so important to be able to generate that for a defense?
I mean, I feel like it's really important, just getting pressure off the edges, it can cause the quarterback to step up, but, when there's pressure inside as well, it's kind of just suffocating the pocket.
When you were drafted, you talked about how important stuff that is in high school. Like, how did your coaches, how did you guys realize you have that skill set to be able to really pass with it? Like, how did that kind of help
Yeah, I mean, I started off as a linebacker in high school, so I always wanted to be like a linebacker. I always looked up to like Ray Lewis, James Harrison, those type of guys. But I got bigger, and then I started working with my D-line coach. He played in the NFL for a little bit, but I had some injuries. But I just worked with him, nonstop in high school, just trying to perfect my technique and all that. Obviously, I'm athletic and all that, but I pride myself on my technique.
Did they have you on the edge too? Did you try both spots?
Yeah, my freshman year I played edge, and then I started gaining weight and lifting.
You talk about the transition to that towards stuff. It just seems to me it'd be easier to attack than to lay back. So what is so difficult about the transition technically?
I just feel like within the technique, there's little things like not stopping your feet. A lot of times in the read defense, you stop your feet on contact. Brace for the double teams when you're taught here to just keep running your feet nonstop.
Is it
So I just
mostly
feel
breaking habits?
it's really just the muscle memory of what I've been doing for the past few years. So just kind of trying not to revert to the back my old ways.
It's seemingly one sack in a game would solve all that, right?
Yeah.
Once you get the feel of that.
Yeah.
Who was your D-line coach in high school?
His name is Kelly Talavo. He played for the Ravens for over 2 years.
Okay, and then you went to the pass rush camp here during the summer. Just anything that you picked up or learned?
I mean, yeah, I've always worked with, I was working out with BT Jordan. I've been working with him the whole summer, when I was in Phoenix with him, Atlanta with him, Houston with him. So we were I was kind of just following him, working out with, Malik Collins too in Houston. And then we were just kind of getting some D-line work and then building the chemistry as well.
Was that after the Browns at some?
Yeah.